please talk to the speaker we asked about you guys saying essentially you don't want a special session? One, why did you say it, and are you going to block it if you can?
First of all, I've never said that we did not want a special session. What I said was that we felt as though it is premature to sign for a special session right now, that we need to make sure we give the investigative committee adequate time to meet, and should we need a special session, then we should do so. But we are still 4 weeks out from the end of session.
Representative Mitten, what can you tell us about what the committee has decided this week?
Nothing. I mean, I don't really have any comment, as you guys understand that I'm under a resolution that requires my confidentiality. So the committee is continuing to meet. We're continuing to look at to seek and review evidence. We will be meeting again starting Monday of next week.
How do you react to the fact that the judge decided not to dismiss the case against Governor Greitens?
I have no specific reaction. What happens in that criminal case is between the governor, the prosecuting attorney, and the judge. What our investigative committee is doing is investigating from the perspective of the House of Representatives.
Can you tell us what's going on in the committee, but the speaker just said repeatedly he doesn't want a, quote, artificial deadline. Do you think wrapping the committee's work up before the end of the session with enough time for any other thing that the House might do with it is an artificial deadline?
I would not use that language. I believe that the committee needs to continue to investigate under the terms of the resolution that put the committee into existence, and that when our investigation is complete, it will be complete. Whether or not that occurs tomorrow, next week, next month, or some other time remains to be seen. I don't believe that anyone has the crystal ball that can predict how that's going to go.
And the speaker said
at the speaker's press conference about a week ago, he had mentioned that the committee would have until after the session to make a decision about whether there should be a recommendation for impeachment. Do you think it's possible that the committee could have that recommendation yet before the end of the session?
Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say what's going to be what's possible or what's not possible in the entire realm of things. So I wasn't aware of the speaker's comment. That's not something that's been discussed within the committee.
the speaker also said what he told Representative McCann Beatty, which is that the resolution she introduced to give the committee authority to file articles of impeachment did not need to be passed by the House in order for the committee to have that authority. So are you happy that you have that authority now, if necessary?
If that's the speaker's reading of things, it seems to me that the committee that has been investigating the allegations surrounding Governor Greitens should be the same committee that is empowered unequivocally and clearly, as far as our rules or resolutions go, to move forward should it so determine that that's an appropriate course of action. So if the speaker's position is that this doesn't need to, that we don't need to follow through further on that, great. I believe that we probably should, in fact, make sure that the committee has the authority to act should it deem the appropriate course.
So what is the sentiment in this committee right now?
I don't have any comment as to what the sentiment is. I can't speak for the committee as a whole. We are investigating under the terms of the resolution as we have been asked to do, and we take that job very seriously, and we'll continue to take that job very seriously. We've issued a report. You guys have all seen it, and we continue to work.
What's the next step?
Excuse me. Do you agree with the attorney? Your personal opinion, not committee. Do you agree with the Attorney General's statement that you guys found acts that are impeachable?
Well, it seems to me that the Attorney General's statement indicates that the Attorney General has found acts that are impeachable. I can't speak for what the committee has or has not found in that respect.
Your personal opinion, what is it?
I have not seen the evidence that's before. I don't know what the Attorney General reviewed or the scope of his or his team's investigation. So I'm not able to comment as to whether or not that's appropriate from a personal perspective.
Obviously, you're taking the Attorney General's comments into account as you go forward with your deliberations.
Well, the House is a co-equal branch of government, and I think that our investigative committee is doing its job under the terms of the resolution. And I certainly appreciate the fact that the that the Attorney General is also performing his investigation, and we'll leave it at that.
Just to be clear, you want that resolution voted on the House floor?
Well, honestly, that's sort of above my pay grade, but it seems to me that there needs to be no question about what authority the committee, the Special Investigative Committee on Oversight has to, if it deems appropriate, move forward. I think that it's just incumbent upon the body to make sure that we don't have issues as to the scope of authority.
Tell us about your resolution. Again, what does it do, and why was it necessary?
So, I guess I personally am under the impression we didn't necessarily need it. However, after with a conversation with the speaker, he deemed that he felt as though a resolution needed to be done. The resolution simply says that it gives the current existing investigative committee the authority, should they deem it is appropriate, to file articles of impeachment. The original resolution did not address the impeachment process itself at all. And so, since the speaker had not moved in that direction, I felt it was necessary that we take the next steps, and I went and filed that on Tuesday.
When do you think that'll come to a vote?
We don't know that it will come to a vote. I have had no conversations with the speaker as to how he's going to handle that at this point.
If that resolution is not approved, then what? The committee doesn't have the power to approve articles of incorporation, impeachment, I'm sorry?
According to the speaker, it does not necessarily have to be adopted by the body. So it's how the speaker interprets it.
Have Democrats had a chance to sign this petition yet calling for a special session on this matter?
I have seen no petition.
Okay.
Do you think, as we stand here today, that there is enough to impeach immediately, or do you think we need to wait?
I think there is probably enough in the first. However, the committee is still doing their work, and I think we need to go ahead and proceed and see what comes out of the additional work the committee is doing.
Are you supporting the speaker's handling of this so far?
I think the speaker is being cautious, but from my perspective, I think I have seen enough. This is a cloud over our state. It's embarrassing, and we need to be moving forward to resolve this sooner than later.
When you said you think you've seen enough to vote on articles of impeachment, is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
Yes.
You didn't say anything new.
I am consistent.
It's consistent. And I just got here. Let me
And you
get your
wouldn't
name.
answer the question.
I'm sorry.
Actually, I do have one more question.
Marshall.
With all of this going on, it does seem like the House is still passing other bills, but would it be a good thing as far as if this were to distract from passing bad bills?
Obviously, if we can stop bad bills. But more than that, and I've said this many times, I have a little bit of concern about us going on business as usual. We know we have a governor who his MO is intimidation, and you start passing bills that potentially can hit the governor's desk. Is he going to use that as leverage against legislators? That is a concern. So as we continue, this is not a business as usual situation. I think we need to be focusing on the budget and make sure we get that done, because that's our constitutional obligation. And then we need to be focused on letting the committee have the appropriate time to do the work that they need to do.
Do you think there's enough time to get the budget done? Are you confident on that?
Oh, I think the budget will get done.
Was the speaker briefed at all about the suspicious envelope that was found on the other side of the Capitol?
No, only, the buzz that happens when you're in the chambers. I haven't even had a chance to go and ask anybody yet.
Let me get your name.